So this is really more of a general video, I guess, I got asked in a message about motivation, like how to actually get the motivation and the willpower to just get things done. And this is also something that I hear it a lot online in comments, and I also hear a lot of people asking me in messages or even in real life, like, how do you actually go from point A, where you're in your current situation, you want to change, but you don't know how, to point B, where you've made the change and you're happy and fulfilled and in a better situation? How do you go from point A to point B? What a lot of people struggle with is they think, or they feel, I'm not motivated enough. I don't have the drive and the willpower to get from point A to point B. Tea break. And there's really, in this video, just one word that I wanted to share with you and I'll explain what it means, that will motivate you to do absolutely anything. And this is one really powerful word, and that is the word now. So whatever you're trying to do, and I want to keep this as general as possible, right? Whether it's working out, building a business, traveling, quitting your job, getting in shape, whatever it is, right? Whatever you want to do, logically for a fact that it is possible because you've seen other people doing it. You know that, right? So I'm going to keep this very, very logical, because with a lot of this motivation stuff, it becomes too emotional and kind of glorified. So let's just keep this really basic. It's possible because you've seen other people doing it, right? And you've seen people less intelligent and less capable than you having more success than you, right? So let's take the example of like working out or getting in shape. For a fact that there are many people, millions of people in the world, who are in amazing shape, and they're just not that clever. They're really not that clever. Not in a nasty way, but just objectively, they're not that smart, right? So it's possible. It's not about intelligence. It's really something quite simple, which is just they did the thing without delaying it. That's it. So, and it applies to anything, right? Building a business. There are people who are really not that clever at all, who are running multi-million-dollar a year businesses, and they don't really know what they're doing. They just, they got in the right place. They were persistent. They just took action. And then eventually, when you take action and you just do it, you get to a point where, okay, I'm not good at this, but I can hire someone who is good at that, in the example of business, right? So really the only thing you need to do is take the action. And that's really, I guess, where the problem is, right? If you don't have the motivation to take the action, then you find yourself in this predicament where it's like, okay, I want to change. I don't know how, but I want to change, but I don't have the motivation to take the action. That's where a lot of you find yourselves, right? Well, okay, so at least agree with me then. You understand logically that to get to where you want to be, you need to take the action. Okay, that's all you need to do, is just do something and keep doing it and course correcting until you get to the place you want to be. You also know logically that it is possible and that other people have done it who are less smart than, less intelligent and capable than you, but they just took action. Okay. So then it's really just about understanding that logically, and now how it works, that it's possible, and it's just about taking the action. Well, now it's a lot easier because you just need to break down what you're trying to do into very, very simple, small steps, and basically just keep halving the steps and the difficulty until you get to a point where it's so easy that anybody could do it. Literally anybody. So let's give an example. Okay, I'll give you an example of this guy that I've been talking to, Sam. We've talked quite a lot, and I quite like the guy, and I think he's going to go very far. So he wants to produce or be successful in music, making music and that kind of thing. So in his example, what he would do is, okay, let's say if it seems really overwhelming and you don't know where to start, you know what you want, but you just have no idea how to get there. What you would do is you would just break it down into the smallest possible steps that you can imagine. So in the example of making music, you would break it down so small. It's like, okay, step 1, write the first word of the title of the song or the track, right? The first word, and spend all day doing that. And literally give yourself as much time as you need. Just take that first tiny step. Or you would say, right, let's say if I need to record a whole song with all these different levels and tracks and stuff, No, the first step is just sit down in a quiet room and just imagine how the song might sound. And then next step, now you need to make, let's say, the drum track or the drum loop. Okay, fine. So you just slowly work through that. And what you're doing is by breaking it down into these tiny steps, you make it so simple to take action. And another way of doing this is that, let's say if you just need to be consistent, and this doesn't just apply to the music guy, Sam, but anyone, right? You just need to be consistent with something. All you need to do is break it down into the smallest chunk of time that you know for a fact you can always do. Even if you have to start something ridiculous, like 5 seconds. Let's say you want to meditate every day, okay? And for some reason, you just never stick to it. Okay, say, right, I will now meditate for 5 seconds every day. I know it sounds silly. Everyone can do that, right? 5 seconds. We can do it right now, right? My editing software will probably cut the silence out, but I just pause for 5 seconds. Anyone can do it. So because it's so attainable for everyone, 5 seconds, that gives you somewhere to build from. So you say, right, now next week I'll meditate for 10 seconds a day. Or you could even increase it every day, right? Because 5 seconds is nothing. So you could literally say, right, every day I meditate for 5 seconds more than I did yesterday. And then pretty soon, in about a month, I'd have to crunch the numbers, but pretty soon, maybe in a month or two, you're now meditating for like quite a good chunk of time every day. You've built the habit up because you haven't missed a day because it's so easy, and you've done it. Like suddenly you just wake up one day and you realize, oh, now I'm meditating for half an hour a day. I've reached the goal, and it didn't even take me that long, and it was easy because you started by meditating for 5 seconds a day. So really the word is just now. Just do whatever you need to do right now, and if that's difficult, then break down that task into the smallest possible chunk of either time or action, and just do that exact thing right now. And the key is just not to delay it.